Once again, I'm back. I want to make this one short and sweet. I got this document from congress.gov. It's constitution.congress.gov. I just wanted to I was just kind of revisiting the topic of personal jurisdiction. And I want to start off right here with the 14th Amendment. Let me make this a little bigger so y'all can make it retard size. Okay, if you sensitive, get off my damn forum because I'm silly in the damn way. Okay, 14th Amendment, Section 1. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the states wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protections of the law. As you all know, if you actually do study, you know that all public officials actually, specifically judges is what I'm addressing now, took an oath to the Constitution. Okay? So that you know, they took to the Constitution of the United States and of the Constitution of the state in which they preside. Okay, let's go over personal jurisdiction. What is personal jurisdiction? Personal jurisdiction, or in personam jurisdiction, refers to a court's power over a person or entity who is a party to or involved in a case or controversy before the court, including its power to render judgments affecting that person's rights. Now, the number one right is letting you know where they got that from. This is where they got that from. The Black's Law Dictionary, 10th edition. Now, the reason why I'm touching on this, because I'm gonna loop this back around to the importance of having a private trust. If you have a trust and you put and the personal jurisdiction only comes because your name is not being protected. You haven't gained control of that name, that straw man, then this legist, the Cesta K Trust, the all caps name, whatever the legal entity, whatever you want to call it, that's in all capitalized letters on their docket that looks like your name in its proper form, but it's in all caps. Okay, that's jurisdiction of the person. Power over the court's power over a person or entity. That's what the entity is. You know, they create body attachments when you're on a child support case. Of course, they'll call you a person. They don't say natural person. They just say person. And it's up to you to figure out which person you operating as when you're in the commercial realm. When you're in court, you're in a commercial setting. So you going in there and not having anything on the record distinguishing who you are in relation to this entity that they're trying to exercise power over. Then they'll create a body attachment and there's a presumption that you're acting as the entity. And especially if there's nothing filed into the court case, nothing on the record to prove who you are in relationship to this entity that's written on their docket. That's one of the reasons I just talking about registering the name, special appearance, paperwork. Your paperwork, you have to file an answer into a court case in the beginning. If you don't file one in there, they're going with the presumption that you're acting as the entity. So then they will have jurisdiction to exercise power over the entity / person, because you're acting out of order. You're out of order. Okay. Let's see. I also wanted to touch on the fact that when we talk about trust law, trust law is what I started really on fire talking about in the beginning of this year on my channel. When you create a trust and you're taking that straw man, that person, and you're placing it inside your own trust, something that you created. What you keep in mind, whatever you create, you control. Okay, you only control what you create. You know what you can, well, you have full control. I'm gonna say you have full control over what you create. They're supposed to be operating now over this straw man. You didn't create it, but you're the one authorized to control it. But they're operating as they're supposed to be trustees operating as trustees for your benefit. But since you have reached the age of majority and have failed to exercise your own rights as an adult and not a minor, they're taking it. They don't have a problem with plunging on your estate. Let me see. Let's see if I go back to where's that whatever. He creates. I think it's. I'm paraphrasing like hell. So let me see. Maxims of law. See if I can find that damn thing. Ooh, this is too long. I don't wanna hold this up. God, this is too long, and I don't wanna look for that one. But you see, I typed it in the Google search, and the first thing it shows was those maxims of law. But it's definitely in there. So contracts and those all. Okay, I'm gonna squash that part. But whatever you create, that's what you have total control over because you created it. And we can't say the government created the straw man, so they own it. Keep in mind when you say somebody owns something, you have to put a name on it. We created this word government as if it's a human being that we can literally point out and they have an actual name. We personified the word government and we make it look like the government. There's nothing in the county recorder's office that's going to say that anyone owns that name that you're conducting business with, that straw man name. They are trustees. They don't own shit. Okay? Yes, it was created for your benefit and it was created for them to operate as trustees, when it comes to you doing business long as you're not, when you're not competent. At the same time, they don't own shit. They don't own anything. Okay? But the thing is, this is why they're exercising that type of control because of whatever contracts your father, mother got entered that name into when you were first born. But now you're an adult, you're grown man, you're a grown woman. You're supposed to take control of that name. When you take control of it, and you place that person, that entity inside your own trust. Now you take away personal jurisdiction because no one can control anything inside of a trust that you created. It refers to a court's power over a person or entity who is let's see. As a matter of fact, let me go to this here. This is jurisdiction. Power of a court to adjudicate cases and issue orders. Now, you can the thing is, you're talking about when we talk about how can I say, when y'all talk about I don't want to give them jurisdiction, they have power to adjudicate the case. That's what jurisdiction originally is. Okay, the term itself, just regular jurisdiction, not personal jurisdiction. Jurisdiction, the term itself, is the power of a court to adjudicate cases and issue orders. Say territory within, and this is the second definition. You know how every dictionary has like two different meanings or whatever. Territory within in which a court or government agency may properly exercise its power. Just like, for instance, I tell you, a police officer here in Georgia can't go to Alabama and arrest no damn body. They don't have authority to arrest anyone there. And so that's why they don't have authority to go there, and vice versa. No cop in Alabama can come to Georgia and arrest anybody. They have to contact the proper authorities who have jurisdiction over that area to make the arrest, and then transfer them back over there if they committed a crime on their soil. Okay, so that's what it is. The power to adjudicate a case and issue an order. Now, personal jurisdiction, not just jurisdiction, but personal. That's power to exercise power over a person. So we know jurisdiction is the power to adjudicate, but personal jurisdiction, that's the power to adjudicate over a person. And so you don't want to give them personal jurisdiction. If you run around here, Nick, and you went right into a court case, that name in all caps has never been conquered. You never take control of it. You never state on the record who you are. in relationship to that name, because you on the, you as a living man are the one that you're granting them. You're supposed to, you're the grantor on the private side. You're the beneficiary when you're a minor. As a minor, you're supposed to be operating as the beneficiary. But then you're grown now. You're supposed to take control of it. You're the grantor. Or you're supposed to be the one that's given authority to do so. It's just like if you do a power of attorney with, say one of y'all do a power of attorney with me. If we type up a power of attorney, and then you give me the authority to operate on, to power over your person, that is your straw man, to act on your behalf. That's what you're doing. You're giving me personal jurisdiction when you do a power of attorney. You give me power to exercise. You give me the ability to exercise power over your person, over your entity. Same thing right here. But I was getting to something when I said that. But this is exactly so. Understand, when you create a trust, your own private trust, and you create that thing, and you put it inside that, you stating in there, keep in mind a trust is for the living, a revocable living trust. Revocable or irrevocable, whichever one you choose to do, that's solely up to you. That's for you to do your research and see which one you want to do. You can orchestrate it however you want to, but you are the grantor, because you're the one that's have the authority to put all the straw man property, the property inside that trust, your trust that you created. I don't care what you call it. You can call it whatever you want to, because you are a creator. Understand, people, that you all are creators. Okay, you're made in his image and in his likeness. You are a creator. Okay, so your job is to create your trust, and then you place what the property that you have the authority over. You're supposed to take control over it by placing it inside your own trust, and then you take away personal jurisdiction from the courts. If you haven't injured nobody, you haven't swindled somebody in a contract or something like that, then they won't have authority to be able to they can't just go in there and do anything they can't just exercise power over your trust. Over that straw man, over that entity, if it's not within their jurisdiction. You're moving it from out of the public realm into the private realm. And that's what a trust is. It's private. And equity operates trust. A private trust is operating based on equity. Okay, that's where you're gonna be. That's where you're supposed to put it at. Where you're supposed to put it at. Let me see if I'm gonna read this here. I'm gonna read this here. I said what I needed to say, y'all, but I'm gonna go ahead and read some of this and see what it's gonna say. Prior to the state's ratification of the 14th Amendment and the Supreme Court's 1877 decision in Penor versus Neff, a non-resident who received an adverse judgment from one state would often wait until the winning party sought to obtain enforcement of judgment in the resident state before challenging the issuing court's exercise of personal jurisdiction over the non-resident. Okay. State and some state and federal courts considering whether such judgments were enforceable would typically resolve such jurisdictional challenges on the basis of general customary law principles that had been shaped by the rules of recognition of foreign judgments under international law. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing right here, because this is the main part I wanted to get to. So I just want to kind of make a little short, sweet video about personal jurisdiction, and you understand what personal jurisdiction is and why it's important for you. Why creating a trust is important. A lot of people, y'all are just creating trust because it's the thing to do, and that's what everybody say. It's a good thing. It's a power. It's powerful. It's powerful. But how is it powerful? Most of you don't know how it's powerful. Why does it carry so much weight? You also rebutting the presumption of death, because keep in mind you're creating that trust, and it's verified. That trust is also verified, meaning it's affirmed or sworn on. It's an agreement between two or more parties. And so, and this is it's private contracting, and only living people can do those things. Okay, only living people can do those things, and it's something that the courts don't have authority to override. They can't rule against a private contractor that was done with your own free will, and it was no coercion, and there was full disclosure about the contract. So they can't rule against it. They can't what they call pierce your trust. I don't know where they get this piercing shit from, but they don't have authority to rule on your case, to rule on that name if there's no injury, there's no contractual agreement where you actually agreed to do anything. So they can't touch you like that. So anyway, that's what I thought I'd do that. So once you create a trust, it's good to maybe go back into the court with your special appearance document attached to it, either the trust or your certificate of trust. Look in your state statutes. It tells you how to create a certificate of trust. It's real simple. But in some cases you can place the whole trust in there if you want it in there. But I wouldn't. If you got a basic trust that's specifically for that court case and it's not addressing nothing that you don't want to be public, then that you don't, it's not addressing anything that's private that you don't want public, then you can attach that to your special appearance document, and you can actually try to go ahead and use that to get to do away with the case for the lack of personal jurisdiction. So anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. I just threw something out there, kind of just something to think about, y'all. Go ahead and do what you want to do with this information. Go research it for yourself. Get a clear understanding as to what it is that I'm talking about and what I'm showing you. Okay, I'm trying not to set myself up to be worshipped, because some people they get lazy when they read something or see a video and they contact me and they don't want to study anything. They rather talk me to death because they don't want to study. They want to hear it from my mouth. And so they'll contact me so that they can get me to talk to them and talk to them and talk to them and talk to them and talk to them. And they really just don't want to study anything. So I encourage you all to do your studies. Understand exactly what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay? Go ahead and hit the like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm planning. I got more stuff coming. It's gonna keep on coming. I got plenty, y'all. So we'll see y'all in the next video. Emrose signing out.